back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tylah. Yeah, that's about it. I am a past au pair, and I should have made more videos while I was in France, but I was out there living my life, and now I'm home so I can give you guys all the au pair content that you want and crave and need and deserve. And I'm here to answer your questions. I've gotten a lot over the past few videos in the comment sections of little questions about being an au pair and like how to budget, what to expect when earning, how to travel, how to deal with your host kids not behaving. So I'm here to answer those questions today. If you have any more questions that I didn't answer in this video, definitely leave them in a comment down below and I'll make sure I make more videos about them. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you in my little community. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. That is like such a cool thing. 500, like wow, 500 people. Thanks guys, appreciate you, love you so much. Love to have 500 people. It's like my little town. I imagine us just like living in a little community where we all like grow our own plants and like make each other trinkets and baked goods and like share stories of au pair stories. It'd be amazing. I would love to manifest that into reality, but for right now we are in a virtual world and I'm really happy to have you on my channel. So subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want more au pair videos, I will definitely get those up for you. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you enjoy it. Mwah. I feel so awkward making intros. Will it ever get better? Will they ever get better? Okay, so the first question that I got, which I've never answered on this channel, was what is an au pair and what do you actually do there? I guess I've just never said this, but an au pair is a cultural exchange, so I'm infusing my culture with theirs. I speak English with them. Normally your host families will speak their language with you. I think I said in another video that I didn't speak English. I didn't speak French with my host family, but I did listen to them speak, and that was honestly good enough because I have really good comprehension levels of French now because of it. So my schedule would be I wake up at 7 and make the kids breakfast, have breakfast with them, make sure that they like brush their teeth, get ready for school, and then I take the youngest to school. I take him on the bus. It's about 7 minutes on the bus, 25 minutes walking, so it just depends on like how the buses are in the morning. With the Gov, there were no buses, so we were walking, but I would just take him to school. I'm done at like 8:30 for the morning and I'm off until 4:30 when I pick him up. I would go to French class. I think that started at 9:30 and ended at 12:30. I would go home, have lunch, normally take a nap. Another one of my duties was doing the kids' laundry, so I always make sure I did the kids' laundry, put the load in the morning, and then like take it out and fold it. Well, we air dried mostly, but like I would make sure I like hanging the laundry in the afternoons, take my little nap, and then I'll go get the kid at 4:30. Then we would go to the park for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes and he would play with his friends. We'd go home. My host family had chickens, so we would feed the chickens, play with them for a little bit. They're like pets, and I would love to have chickens one day because of this. And then we do homework. If he had English homework, I would make sure I help him with that, and I'm just supervising homework. If the dishes need to be unloaded from the dishwasher, we would do that together. Then I would make sure that he takes a shower and we set the table for dinner, and then I'm done, and then I have dinner with the family, and then we're always done around 8 o'clock. And I've gotten the question before, can you just leave after you're done? Yes, once you're done working, you're free to go do whatever you want. You can get home at whatever time that you want, as long as you're up to take the kids to school the next morning. You're a free woman or free man or free gay or free Swiftie. You're free. So do whatever you want. So the main question that I got across multiple videos was, how did I save money to go abroad? Honestly, you don't need that much, but if you are like young and maybe you haven't worked that much, it can seem like a lot. I had savings because at the time I was saving for a car. Spent the car savings in Paris because I didn't need a car. Now I'm home, need a car. But did I have fun in Paris? Yes. So YOLO, whatever. Money comes and goes. You can survive on an au pair budget. Somebody asked how much we can expect to make. It's not a lot, I'll tell you that. The minimum that a host family can pay you is €80 a week, because you have your groceries included. They pay for your phone normally, your insurance, you live with them, they pay for your transportation pass. You really don't need that much money. I was doing a lot of traveling outside of France, so that is where a lot of my money went to, and also just like going out to eat at restaurants was a big thing that I did. My main advice is for budgeting is don't eat out all the time. Like, you don't have to, especially if your host family is paying for groceries. Eat at the host family's house as much as you possibly can. You will save so much money, and that is really the main advice that I can give you when budgeting on an au pair salary, is just eat with your host family as much as you can. I also did babysitting. If you are picking up your kids from school, normally I would talk to a lot of the other moms that were there picking up their kids or other au pairs, and I would just say, like, if your host family needs a babysitter on a night where you can't work, to the other au pairs, like, let them know and I will be there. So I did that. I babysat for like some of my friends' host families, as well as other families in the community. And I also taught English lessons on the side to a pair of 10-year-old twins that were super kind, and that was like an extra 30 bucks for like an hour and a half of work that I would get on Saturday mornings. So since I babysat, or since I tutored on Saturday mornings, I never went out on Friday nights because I knew that I was not going to wake up. So that also saved me a lot of money, because I always just had dinner and like on Friday nights with my host family, and that was also our time to like bond, because I don't really get to spend time with my host parents during the week. So that was our time to like get to know each other, was on Friday nights when we had dinner together. So that is what I really liked. But definitely eating with the host family, trying to save as much money as you can. If you know that you want to travel on your vacation days, traveling within Europe is extremely cheap. I would take Flixbus. I went on a Flixbus to Amsterdam, and my ticket was literally €8 to go to Amsterdam, and then I went to Belgium, and I think that cost me like €6. So it's really cheap. I went to Poland on a flight for like 50 bucks. It is really cheap, and like making your food while you're traveling is honestly like a lifesaver as well. I would get like Airbnbs with friends, and like we would just make our food in the Airbnb. But definitely also don't skimp yourself on activities when you're traveling. You want to make sure that you do things. I went to Amsterdam and I didn't do the boat ride on the canal, and I have so many regrets, and now I have to go back to Amsterdam because of that. I would also just love to go back to Amsterdam, because I only spent one day there, or like a day and a half, and I really like the city. So I would definitely go back, but just live your life, do what you want, but definitely make sure that you always have extra money. Always have money for like a flight home. If you have money for a flight home, then you're good. Somebody asked me how I took the initiative to move, and I understand that it seems so scary. It's really not. It's just the same as if you were moving towns. But yeah, like new culture, new language, new country, it can be intimidating. But once you learn that like humans are humans, and wherever you go, like, you're gonna meet people who either speak your language or make things really comfortable for you, you'll be okay. I definitely think that you just need to go into it with like a fearless mindset, and like you will thrive. And I believe in you. Just do it. I promise you'll have so much fun. I had so much fun. I'm like bopping around like, ooh, we're thinking about Europe. I have my phone in my hand, so I apologize, but I'm looking at the questions here. Question number 3 was, what are some tips and tricks you would recommend to people learning a new language? Literally, you have to force yourself, because it can be so easy to not speak a new language and just to ask people to speak your mother tongue with you. But if you're adamant about learning a language, you have to really put your best foot out there. I would say that honestly, Rosetta Stone helped me a lot. I did that during the confinement every day, and just by listening to my host family speak around me, I understood what they were saying. So my comprehension level with French is really good, but I don't speak it as well because I don't practice speaking. But writing and understanding, I'm pretty good at. So I would say putting yourself in situations where you're forced to speak the language helps a lot. I once babysat for a family with 3 kids, and once I got to the house, hadn't met them prior. I found out that the kids only spoke French, and my French level, oh, it's raining really bad, and you're probably gonna hear it, so I'm gonna try to make this video fast before it starts pouring. But if you hear the sound, it's the rain. I got to this house, and I didn't know that the kids didn't speak any English, so I had to speak French with them, and that was honestly really challenging, but I did it. Now I know that tatine in French is for pacifier, because the baby did not want to go to sleep without his tatine, and I had no idea what he was saying. So that was the only complicated thing, but I was a trooper, and I did it, and the kids all went to bed, and the parents came home and were like, good job, and I was very proud of myself. So honestly, just putting yourself in situations where you know you'll have to speak the language that you're choosing to learn is honestly like the best advice that I can give to you. I've been to stores where I ask to speak English and they say like, no, like you speak French and I'll speak English with you, and that has honestly been really helpful, as well as my relationship with my tailor in France. I go to the tailor quite often because I'm fairly petite and I need my clothes altered, and my tailor in France didn't speak any English, so I had to learn how to communicate with him. So that was also what helped me learn a lot, was just going to the bakery, going to the tailor, having to speak French with people who didn't speak English, or did and didn't want to speak English with me. There are people out there that will do that. But once those people are getting tired of hearing you struggle in French, they will switch to English. So people always are going to speak English or your native language normally, but try to speak the language that is in the country that you are. It's just respectful. Tips dealing with homesickness. God, you're gonna get homesick, but I always just told myself that there's no other time that I'm gonna be living in Paris as an au pair, and I need to just be really grateful for every single day and just live in the present moment, and home will always be there and your friends and family will always be there. And we're so lucky to live in the age of technology where we can see our loved ones on a screen and FaceTime them or video chat them. So I feel really fortunate that we do live in the time that we are in, and I don't have to like write letters to communicate with people, because being able to call somebody immediately is honestly a really big blessing, and that is what like kept me sane. And just knowing that like if I'm sad, I could go take the train to the Eiffel Tower and look at the Eiffel Tower and be sad in front of the Eiffel Tower. So am I really sad if I'm being sad in front of the Eiffel Tower? Not really. Homesickness is inevitable. Everybody gets homesick, and I think that just knowing that you're not alone in wherever situation you are, it helps me a lot. I knew that I wasn't the only au pair out there struggling with homesickness, and I just knew that we're all in this together, and if then my neighbor who is an au pair is dealing with the same thing and getting through it, then I can too. So you're never alone in every situation that you're in, and I think that that's what helped me a lot. Okay, someone asked me to share my most embarrassing au pair story. I have a few. They happen, but I'm only gonna share one. This was towards the end. Thank God this was towards the end. I had a night out, as we do, and I came home at I think like 7:30 in the morning, and for some reason I wanted to make rice. I looked in the fridge and there was pasta, there was salad, there was so many leftovers, but I was like, no, I want rice. I went upstairs, I changed, I took off my makeup, I put on my bunny onesie, like I was set, like I was good. I made pasta, I made rice, and I know for a fact I did not clean up the kitchen. I put the rice in the Tupperware and put that in the fridge, but I woke up in the morning and I was like, I left a mess and I know it. And I looked at my phone, text from my host mom, and she said, I don't know what you did last night, but the kitchen was a mess when I woke up. And I was like, I had no choice. I had literally no choice but to tell her that I was drinking last night and that I am sorry. Because I was like, I know there's rice everywhere, and rice, like little grains of rice, I know there was a mess. And I came downstairs that day and I was like, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just really wanted rice, and you know, it happens. And she was so understanding, and I was so grateful. She was like, it happens, like thanks for being honest with me. I was like, oh my god, mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, I love you, like God bless you, because I honestly was really scared. But like, we're people, we're just au pairs. We're gonna go out and we're gonna come home drunk and make rice in the kitchen at 7 in the morning and leave a mess. Like, that just happens. It's okay. I was really scared, but she was really sweet about it. Tips for bonding with your host kids. Literally just find out stuff that they like. If they want to show you their Yu-Gi-Oh card collection, let them show you their Yu-Gi-Oh card collection and be really interested about it. If they see that you take interest in something that they like, they're immediately going to warm up to you. And I would just ask my kids, like, what do you want to do? Like, we can do anything that you want to do. And they really appreciated that. Also, just making sure that they feel seen and heard in their concerns will also help a lot. My youngest host kid and I really didn't get on well for a while. He hated me And I think on my first, it was my first or second day, he goes, you know, I can fire you. And I was like, fire me? I just got here. Like, I just moved from America, love. Kids, a lot of times, especially if kids have had multiple au pairs, they're not gonna trust you because they either have an attachment to their last au pair and they're really upset that they left, or they have a problem with authority because they have multiple authoritative figures coming in and out of their lives. So you have to sympathize with the kids because they have multiple nannies, and that, I've never had a nanny and I've never had multiple nannies, but I'm sure that it does take a toll on you with like trusting and just having somebody that like is coming into your house. Like, imagine like you're a kid and somebody's living with you and also telling you what to do. They might not like you and they might have trust issues with you. So if you are sympathetic towards that standpoint and like their feelings, and you can talk to them through that, then they will probably really appreciate it. I had to have a talk with my youngest kid and say like, hey, you don't like me, I'm gonna be here for another 9 months, like what can we do to fix this? And my kid was like, I just don't like you because you're annoying. And I was like, I literally do nothing to you. I just take you to school, make sure you do your homework. This is hard for me too. I'm living in another country. And I would tell him, I was like, I'm living in another country, I'm living with another family, like it is hard for me too. So I just want to be on like the best page. My kids were older, so it was honestly really nice because they're like actual people and they can communicate their feelings. So that was a little bit easier for me. Younger kids, I don't have the experience to tell you like how to bond with your kids. But I feel like just by doing the things that they like definitely can help. I'm looking at the viewfinder and I know that that is like a YouTube faux pas and I apologize. Don't be afraid to travel with strangers also. There are au pair group chats and au pair communities, and a lot of times we'll get messages in those chats and they're like, I'm going to Lille this weekend, does anybody want to come with me? And you can go with a stranger, just get their information, get their Facebook, know that they're a real person. Just do it. If you can travel solo and you're brave enough to do that, also do that. I have not traveled on my own like as a whole trip. I've gone to countries by myself, but then I'm always like meeting a friend. I traveled to Poland by myself. I got super sick on the flight and I did not know Polish. I don't know Polish, so I couldn't navigate my way to my train from the plane, and I couldn't communicate with like this older man because apparently in Poland a lot of the older generation doesn't speak English, but the younger generation does because they learn it in school. Couldn't find any younger people, so I was just struggling. I missed my train. It happens. Traveling on your own isn't always easy, but there have been times, like the time I went to Berlin and my friend was already there and I met her and I said, how do I get from the airport to the hotel? And she said, just take the train. And I was like, the train, love? It's in German. She was like, just do it, it's easy. And I was like, okay. And I just did it and it was easy. So it can go both ways, and there's always normally people around you that can help you. In Poland I did not have that, but I did make it to where I had to go. And I'm honestly quite proud of myself for that one. That was a hard one. There are challenges, and you will get past them. I promise. I'm here. I survived. I'm here to tell the story, so we're good. So I hope that I answered all of your questions. If you have any more questions about an au pair experience, definitely leave them in a comment down below. Also, if you have been an au pair, let me know your most embarrassing story. I have a bunch that I am literally just too embarrassed to put on the internet, and I just can't say them. It happens. You don't have to be embarrassed. We all have our moments. But if you want to see more embarrassing au pair stories, I will do them. Let me know in the comments down below your most embarrassing au pair stories, most embarrassing babysitting stories. Anytime you've been embarrassed, I would like to know. It would make me feel better about my little stories. And if you have any questions about the au pair experience, definitely let me know. I will definitely get those videos up for you guys. I am super excited about anybody who wants to do this experience. It's really a crazy one, I'll tell you that, but it's so worth it. And if you have the urge to do it, it's really the best way to see another country and to kind of establish your roots there, especially if you know that like you'll want to live there long term. This is a really great way to do it. By living with another family, you definitely have a support system. If you have any questions, I remember I chipped my tooth. I came home and I was crying and I was like, my tooth, I don't want to go to the dentist in France. I'm so scared. I don't know. I only know how to say like brush your teeth, like brosser les dents, and I don't even think I say that correctly. And I only know that because of the time that I had to babysit for the French kids, and I had to say like, please brush your teeth so that you can go to bed. So I had no dentistry vocabulary, and they were like, you are fine, we will help you make an appointment, and if you have any questions, like, let me know. So having a family that you live with is a really great way to get introduced into another country, because if you have any questions, like, they will always be there to answer them for you. And I definitely think that it is just a really great way to explore another culture. Vive la France. And I will be returning soon when the borders open, and when the embassy wants to return my email. Embassy, email me back. I would love to talk to you. I would love a little chat. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you so much. Bye. Still thinking about the rice. I'm still thinking about the rice story. I really just wish you took a picture like about what it looked like, because I still have so many questions. I just don't remember. Was there rice in the sink? Was there rice on the stove? Was there rice in the fridge? I remember going downstairs and eating that leftover rice like in shame. Like, yes, this is the rice I made. I'm so sorry. Bye guys.